The day before the raids began, Apache Company, led by a 30-year-old West Pointer, Mike Shackleton, was scouting their route into the city when an intelligence report came in about a cache of surface-to-air missiles hidden along a riverbank. New orders came across the radio.
What I want to do is, we got a priority mission here. Roger. We're going to move out. As soon as you get loaded up, we're going to move out at 40 miles an hour. Over.
Using the Stryker's wireless email system, Captain Shackleton ordered his company to change direction on the fly. On the way there, Shackleton plotted out exactly where each squad should go. When they arrived at the location, every platoon had already seen the computerized map of where their areas of responsibility were. The mortar squad knew where the potential threats were in the houses along the river. The snipers kept an eye on the trees at the far end.
Probably a section this way, a section that way. I don't see too much of a threat that way, basically.
By the time his men had all dismounted, there were very few orders left to give, and the only decision that remained was how best to secure the Iraqi missiles they found.
We have a secure perimeter, and we're going to search basically with whatever available daylight we've got.
It was considered a successful mission, not only because they found the missiles, but because they accomplished it quickly and while completely out of range of their traditional radios. The key decisions were made on the spot by Shackleton and his non-commissioned officers. The Army says the most revolutionary thing about the Stryker Brigade isn't the way it gets around or how it gets its information. It's the soldiers.
Guys coming in today have to operate so many systems, and they have to be almost a video game kind of nut guy that can operate stuff, and they got to be a warrior at the same time. They can put on a rucksack, pick up a weapon, and fight.
Open the door!
To stay lean and mean and mobile, the brigade says it demands more of its people than any other unit in any other army in the world.
What we're really trying to do is make our soldiers able to do more. So you'll have an infantryman that can fix the vehicle he rides on, can maintain the communications and electronic systems on it, rather than what we have now, which is an infantryman rides it and two other people maintain the vehicle and the communications.
But this transformation also involves how decisions are made.
Hey, you look that way.
In the traditional Army, orders for almost every action have to come and go up the chain of command, a time-consuming process.
Hey, get that building number. That may be a potential future target.
The Stryker Brigade puts more responsibility on the shoulders of its young leaders in the field. They are given guidance from the commanders back at base, but these captains and sergeants have the unique authority to react quickly against an elusive enemy who doesn't play by the old rules.
They try to inflict some casualties and then break contact and flee.
An enemy that hides in the midst of innocent civilians.
We're going to have to be able to defeat him with commanders on the ground who are flexible, agile thinkers who are able to execute that, the commander's intent given to him through a digital system. The individual soldier, the non-commissioned officers, and the leaders are the ones that are transforming in the way they think and in the way they act on the battlefield. That's true transformation.
The raid on Samara resulted in the arrests of 1,600 suspected insurgents. 86 were killed and 48 wounded. It was the first real test for the Transformation Brigade, but only the first. These methods, these vehicles, and these soldiers will be in Iraq for at least a year.
The Army of today is the Army of tomorrow. It's squad leaders who are enabled by this technology, are learning the ways and means to be able to do this new shift in the future, and they're doing it now.
Change, at least fundamental change, doesn't come easily to the U.S. military. New technologies and tactics are usually adapted to help enhance the traditional ways of doing things, and that's why the Stryker Brigade is so controversial and being watched so closely. It truly is different on so many different levels. This is an interim step, though. This is not the Army of the future, but the success or failure of the Stryker Brigade here in Iraq could well determine the future of the Army. For Nightline, I'm Don Daler in Central Iraq.
I'll be back in a moment.